Hey guys, welcome to another edition of Trading Bitcoin with your host Tone Face. Once again, just a last minute quick decision to go live. One of the reasons why I haven't really had any guests because that requires coordination. Wanted to jump on and dressed a little bit differently today, dressed down, just relaxing today. So it's good. I gotta go out, see some family in a bit. So for now, let me pop out the live chat. Not sure how many people will be watching. It is Christmas Day. Not really sure what people have planned, but we'll take a look. Let me just set this up here and show less on that. And here we go. All right. No announcements. Let's just go straight to screen share. Merry Christmas, everyone. Thank you again for your donations yesterday. That was very unexpected. Thank you, Constantine, for being the first person to give me a very generous donation, and that kind of set off the whole donation spree. So thank you so much, guys. Much appreciated. Money is going to be used to buy presents for friends and family and my nieces and nephews and stuff like that. All right, what are we doing? Doing screen share. All right, as usual, update on Unconfiscatable, the poker tournament. We have 7 seats at the poker tournament available. As of right now, I'd say about 70 seats out of 100 have been paid for and confirmed. I mean, other than taking out some money for expenses to run the game, and we're trying to keep that as low as possible. Everything else is going to go towards, prizes. We'll try and come up with a payout schedule where if you make the final table, you'll at least get your money back. This way, anyone making the final table will do well. Roland, thank you so much for your very generous Christmas donation and contribution. Okay. Let's go to the charts. Oh, actually, let me see how many tickets we have left. We are still at 35 tickets at current price. So keep that in mind as well. Oh, somebody sold out the, thank you. Somebody was generous and bought a VIP ticket. VIP is currently sold out. I got to double check the numbers. I got to make sure that I think we had about 20 tickets up for sale. For VIP, I got to make sure that all the 20 people that signed up for VIP actually paid. If they haven't, we might put up a few more seats, and we'll cancel those registrations. All right. I haven't had time to think about my workshops yet. I'm working on that. I want to, 11 seats left in Phoenix. Great. Phoenix is slowly selling out. Excellent. And I'm gonna come up with something. Don't worry. Yeah, and check me out on Forklog. That's where we do the videos in Russian. Affiliate codes. If you are gonna do, well, I guess it's too late, right? If you're gonna do your very late Christmas shopping, please use my links for Amazon. Anyway, let's go to the charts, guys. Here's the monthly chart. Now the monthly chart, it always closes. This is why I can't use the BLX index on anything other than monthly charts. It's pretty much useless in anything other than monthly charts. It's good historically. It's a good average of the price, but it's useless in real time. So other than monthly charts, I don't use it. It is still a reversal candle. And it still looks like the price could go into the $5,000 range, but the lower level timeframes disagree now. Here's the weekly chart. Now, the weekly chart, as I said yesterday, the weekly chart did cross into a bullish trade. Now, me personally, I don't like chasing trades. So I don't like jumping into trades when the price flip was such a big candle. This was $1,000 candle. This was pretty much like a 33% rise in the price of Bitcoin. We went from what, 3,000 to 4,000. That's like a 33% increase in the price of Bitcoin. So I don't like to jump on those. Now, the weekly chart did give you a bullish trade, but your stop loss has to be below the moving average. That is a very big $1,000 stop loss. You have to adjust your trade accordingly with the proper position sizing and proper leverage in order to even attempt to pull a trade like that off when you have such your stop losses so far down the line. That's it for now. I mean, like on a weekly chart, I mean, there's nothing here, right? As long as you're flip-flopping between red ones and green ones, it's really telling you not to enter the trade unless you have something like this where you have a breakdown out of the triangle. For now, this still looks like a V-shaped bottom. I still think that it's very possible for Bitcoin to go up to $5,000. We will see how long it takes to get there. I have no idea. If it takes a really long time to get there, then the weekly 30-week moving average can catch up, and then they can meet somewhere in the 5.2, 5.3 range, sometime in like late February or something like that. We'll see. We'll see. This bear market, I feel, is getting dragged out a lot longer than I initially expected. The daily chart is the one that looks really, really bad. We were always nervous about the CMF on the weekly chart, on the daily chart, and right now this is a bad look. So let's review on Shenzhen. Thank you for your Christmas donation to my channel. Thank you very much. Okay, so here's the daily chart, right? So as this candle starts to form, as yesterday's candle starts to form, what happens is you have a beautiful bullish candle. Back when that candle was above 4,200, it was an 8 of 9. I mean, it is on an 8. That means your uptrend is coming to an end. You maybe have one more day of upside, so you already have to start being careful. You're also coming up on this red dotted line known as the setup trend line. This setup trend resistance line in this specific case. CMF stands for Chaikin money flow. You can always Google CMF indicator, and learn, guys. I will start doing webinars where I teach you these things one by one, but they're not going to be free. This is what the Patreon and some of the other monetization tools I'm looking into. And then we can do some kind of webinars where I can do, let's say, a 1 hour deep dive into CMF, 1 hour deep dive into RSI, and they'll be recorded and they'll be posted on my YouTube channel. Also under a pay-per-view kind of thing. Hey, pay $15, $20 and just watch it. Something like that. Maybe I'll provide them free with those that attend my workshops. Again, I just want people to be educated. But at the same time, if I'm putting it all the time, some compensation has to come from that. I'm trying to keep it as low and reasonable as possible. So when this candle is going up, you have a green 8, but then it runs into the setup trend resistance line, okay? And then it concludes the day as a reversal candle. Now, when I did this video yesterday, we still had about 4 hours to go in the candle, and I was hoping that we can rally up into Christmas Eve and close us as a green 8, and the shadow, which is the little stick line above the body, remains smaller than the body of the candle. And that did not happen. And when that did not happen, what we ended up getting was a price flip candle that got rejected by the setup trend line. But most importantly, we ended up with something called a shooting star candle. Those that attended my workshops know how big of a fan I am of shooting star candles. Now, you can always go back and say, hey, Tone, but this was also a shooting star candle. Look at this candle right here that happened on December 19th with the number 3 on top of it. That was also a shooting star candle. What separates the current candle from that candle, considering the shooting star candle back on December 19th, was even a bigger indication of a reversal candle? Well, there's a couple of differences between the candle, and this is the kind of stuff that I mostly dive into during my workshops. several differences. One, this candle came in way closer in the beginning of the uptrend than the ending of an uptrend, right? Like, so this had a much more relevance when you have a reversal candle. Also, this candle did not bump into any other type of resistance like this candle did. But the biggest one is, as you can see, the following candle on December 20th never went below the low of the reversal candle on December 19th. So the December 19th candle is no longer a reversal candle once the candle after it turned out to be a bullish candle. That was not the case here. This time around, we did close as a reversal candle, and especially the graduates of my workshop know very well how nervous you have to be when you have a reversal candle after a noticeable trend, especially in combination with other indicators, and the following candle goes below the bottom of that candle. On top of it, this was a price flip to a red one, telling you to get out of your bullish trades. It's a reversal candle. It's a price flip. It got rejected. And then the following candle confirmed the fact that this was a reversal candle by going lower than that candle. And that sets up a short trade, both based on candlestick trading and based on sequential trading. Now, I am liking this shadow on the bottom of that candle, so we will see if that materializes into anything. I have this blue line, which is critical. As long as we stay above this blue line, bullish trades can stay up there. Hey guys, thank you for a few more of your donations. Jason Meter, thank you so much, and a Merry Christmas to you as well. I hope you enjoying Canada. And Tony, thank you as well. Enjoy Christmas in Russia. Thank you so much for your donation as well. And Ballypoor, thank you so much, and Merry Christmas to you as well. Comments on Bitcoin's volatility rank. I don't really have any comments. I don't know what you mean by Bitcoin's volatility rank. Volatility rises when, you know, Bitcoin price moves around a lot. You know, I look at volatility differently. Like the VIX measures volatility. That seems to, I mean, like it only rises when the price crashes. To me, if the price is rising very quickly, that's also volatility. And Bitcoin did not have much volatility when it got stuck at the $6,000 range, other than like the whole Tether disaster and maybe a few others. But volatility is coming back. You know, we just moved 33% in a couple of weeks, and we'll see where it's going. I'm still cautiously optimistic. I was expecting us to stay above 4,000 this time. At least I expected us to get into 4,300 and maybe get rejected by this area up here with the combination of moving average and setup trend line. I was hoping to break setup trend line intraday and then rally and then fall down off of it. That didn't happen. I don't like this candle. It's very possible that the dead cat bounce is over. Now, we also talked a lot about the 12-hour chart yesterday. The CMF on the 12-hour chart was pretty optimistic. And if I look at the price action gave me what I refer to as a cup and handle. We did not break out. It looked like we were going to break out. That did not materialize. And also keep in mind, the whole proof of keys thing that Trace Mayer is pushing, that could, you know, cause interesting volatility. I don't know if that volatility is going to be to the upside or to the downside. I would be very careful. Order books might be a little thin if people take the proof of keys seriously. I mean, it doesn't matter to me, right? Like I don't have any Bitcoin being held by third parties. So for me personally, it's not really relevant. And I advise people not to hold any Bitcoin with third parties, and that's it. And just don't do it. And try to spend your Bitcoin that doesn't involve middleman. I only use my Bitcoin peer-to-peer. Pretty much use Bitcoin every day, but I use it peer-to-peer. I use it the way it was meant to be used. I don't use it through any middleman. I don't even like using companies that use middleman. I only use peer-to-peer. Now, this is a reversal candle. This is a 12-hour reversal candle. We have about 3 hours to go. Let's see if this materializes into anything. We do have support. We have the moving average support, and we do have this handle. Now, I did draw this handle, but there doesn't mean you can't change it. And so this is a little premature. However, if we did just fall a little bit more and we now start to go back up, there's nothing wrong with adjusting your handle if it comes time to do so, but not yet. I'll leave it the way it was, and we will watch it. Again, I'm being cautiously optimistic, but if Bitcoin doesn't have very far to go, like if we fall below the next moving average, if we close below this blue line, that's it. We are going to go sub $3,000. I was always expecting sub $3,000. I was being, optimistic, and that's why I have a bullish trade on that we can make it back to $5,000 before going down to below 3,000. But we are still in a very bearish posture, so keep that in mind. Wow, I can't believe we have 1,400 viewers on Christmas Day. Wow, thank you guys. The 4-hour chart is, well, this helps to explain why we're stabilizing right here at 3,700. I got a couple of sequential 13s buying opportunities, but no, that doesn't make sense. I got to release the new code. I haven't had time to, because those are 13 buys. So they're coming in from old 9s that took place up there. Those 9s should have been canceled out by now, but also we haven't had any 9s to the upside. So those 9s would have been canceled out by the break of setup trend lines. So I do need to release the new code. These 13s, they don't hurt you, but they shouldn't be there. They should have been canceled out based on code rules. But we do have a little bit of a reversal candle. We never made it to a 9 to the downside. This is a very nice looking 4-hour candle, and it just started. So this candle has most of its life to go. And yeah, it's not really telling me anything. The 2-hour chart, the 1-hour chart, CMF is finally starting to go positive. That did not look good. And this chart isn't really telling me much either. Leverage on long positions is going down once again. Opens up the possibility for more upside. This leverage ratio isn't doing anything. GBTC, we'll have to wait till the market opens. Ethereum dropped a bit, which makes sense. Bitcoin dropped. As long as they're correlated, the bear market isn't over. Bitcoin needs to separate from it. Stock market, we have to wait and see how it opens. I think we're short-term oversold. I would attempt to catch a little bit of this falling knife on the S&P 500 going into New Year's. I am going to look for my 9. I will wait for my 9. I will wait for a reversal candle. And I may time some trades in the traditional stock market. Maybe buy a couple of call options. We'll see. And oil, this is oil daily. It doesn't look good. Oil looked bad across all time frames. Gold, same thing. Gold, let's see what happens. This is the weekly gold. It broke a bunch of resistance. I think it has a little bit of room to go. That's pretty much it, guys. Just wanted to give you a quick update on the Bitcoin world. We are going up slightly. I have not given up yet on the bullish side. The daily chart here would have certainly gotten me out of my short-term long trades. My trade isn't short-term. My trade is, and it's on GBTC, which is closed right now, so I'm not really worried. Again, GBTC closed at, I think 480. My break even, I believe, is about $5. So I will wait a little bit. I still plan to exit that trade at a gain. All right, guys, I can maybe glance at a question or two, or that's it. There's really nothing else for me to say. Just wanted to give you a quick update. I mean, if you're not familiar with my thoughts on XRP, all you gotta do is Google tone vase XRP scam, and you get my thoughts on XRP. I mean, it's complete and utter garbage. If you want to look at something informative, you just got to go to crypto scam number 6, Ripple. I mean, there's a reason why I spent an hour and 40 minutes talking about XRP being a scam, and here it is, me and Peter Todd. XRP, the token's a scam. XRP, the database is fine. And this is us talking about it. So please check it out. It has 46,000 views. Jim, thank you so much for your donation. Man, I'll see you at the poker tournament, Jim. I'm gonna, you should have gotten an email. I'm saving you a seat, man, but you got to pay that 0.1 entry fee, or you can do it over PayPal. I don't think you covered your entry. But yeah, looking forward to playing some cards with you, man. I know we've spoken on the phone a few times. Thanks for your donation, Jim. Let me see if I can catch any other questions. You think Ethereum goes back to the ICO price? So I was wondering if there would have been ICO at Bitcoin, but there was no ICO at Bitcoin, right? That maybe it would have been at $1. Should Bitcoin now also fail? No, but that's the thing, right? Bitcoin innovated, Ethereum did not. You can't compare Bitcoin and Ethereum. You can't compare Bitcoin to anything in the crypto space. Bitcoin is actually useful to the world. Ethereum isn't. Ethereum is not useful. Ethereum is the opposite of useful. Ethereum is actually like hurting the world. Like Ethereum doesn't make the world better. It makes the world worse. That's the difference. Now, those that disagree with me hate me. I mean, if you think about what Ethereum is and what Ethereum does, it's basically like Ethereum's a plague. Ethereum is really bad for the world. Like Vitalik did not do a good thing. Vitalik did a bad thing by inventing Ethereum. It's horrible. It creates a huge problem. If you want to hear more, you probably want to watch, crypto scam Ethereum episodes. And this was one of my big debates, right? This is why me and someone like the Professor Emin Gunsayer don't get along. This is why I'm not happy that Andreas Antonopoulos wrote a book called Mastering Ethereum instead of a book called Mastering Smart Contracts or something like that, right? Like Ethereum was bad. Like Ethereum is bad. Like the way it did everything, the way it started, the way it's run, the way it works, the way all the scams that Ethereum brought into the world, including itself. Ethereum is really bad. If you just go a crypto scam Ethereum, you get all of these episodes. The one I really recommend is the one with Johnny Dilly. This one, the Ethereum one with Johnny Dilly is the one I really recommend about that. And I also recommend, it should be in the video description. In the video description, I probably put Johnny Dilly's interview with the Noted podcast. Yeah, right there. So you really want to listen to that. It happened towards the end. Maybe I can play the video. Let me see.
Welcome to episode 16 of the Noted Bitcoin.
Can you guys hear that?
We are very fortunate to have Johnny Dilly on. He is
adding those conditions to your business model to attempt to compete against centralized entities it's dubious at best. Like, it's just like, what are you hoping for, guys? You hoping for some kind of decentralized revolution where the people like have a kumbaya and like sit up, like we're all gonna triple our cost basis so we can disintermediate the middlemen. No, middlemen are convenient, middlemen are cheap, and middlemen have customer service. I don't buy it.
And so, with Ethereum being like a platform for all of these, what arguably are unregistered securities and whatnot, and people are buying ethers to then go buy their favorite ICO, and then the ICO sits on the ethers because they can't find developers to work on whatever they created, or they they can't get a banking relationship or anything like that. But how does this all unravel? Because we recently saw a post that made the point that it is already unraveling in the sense that the number of Ethereum nodes is dramatically dropping due to its inability, what we were talking about earlier, this doesn't scale unless you centralize. And that's kind of on the technical side, but we haven't seen that translate on the economic side into people having a crisis of confidence.
I'm seriously considering, because of my network, I'm actually seriously considering putting a lot of work into getting some face time with the SEC, so I can actually, sit and explain with them what's going on and why the system is a security and why it promotes securities or unregistered securities. I have to actually find the will and the effort to do that because, I have a life too. So I have to fly and meet and it's a huge pain, but I'm seriously considering it. I think if Ethereum or any of its major cohorts gets registered or gets classified as an unregistered security, I think the game ends or comes crashing down very rapidly. If Ethereum is classified as an unregistered security, it has to be delisted from all the exchanges globally in 30 days, maybe 90 days. And that's just because the SEC has the longest arm in the world. They will just arrest everyone. They'll just arrest everybody.
But don't we want this to fail on its own merits without having to have the government come in and shut it down?
So it will. The thing is it takes it. You have an informational asymmetry. So you have a system that's useless by design. Okay, it's useful for one thing: prototyping how a blockchain might work in theory, okay, or in hypothesis, okay. And then if you prototyped it and it was oh wait, this might actually work, you would immediately never use Ether. You'd scrap it and start from scratch using a strong federation, maybe Tendermint. You'd start from scratch and you'd build it in Rust or you'd build it in C++, and you would begin again and pay the money up front so you didn't trust a steaming pile of basically JavaScript, okay, with a whole bunch of, who knows. And so you aren't associated with that, kind of possible risk. So what use cases might actually hold up to that? And I always say that the only case where you actually need a blockchain is where there's many competitors who are sometimes counterparties. So there maybe are a handful of actual use cases to do that. But if what it's being used for, Ether right now in a lot of cases is what it's being used for is showcasing how internal IT upgrades or how security or infrastructure upgrades inside industries that are not blockchains but are inside industries, how they might be useful. That's not the purpose of this system. It's if the system's being used to prototype how shipping can have how shipping could be more efficient if they all use the same interface. There's no reason why the shipping industry would end up using Ether. It's an expensive, ultimately hard-capped, doesn't scale version of a nightmare of the 1980s. Okay, there's no reason why they would end up using it. They might prototype it, but then if they have anyone with a brain, they're gonna be wait a second, why wouldn't we just roll something that's more secure and has better just computational trade-offs? So the information asymmetry there is the hype train that Vitalik and Evil Lubin started, is that they brainwashed or kind of they convinced a large enough group of people who were just technically savvy enough and just well connected enough to be in a position where they understood that this technology or technology in general had the potential to change things. They convinced them that the method of that change was going to be Ether, when in actuality, the underpinnings of reality make that impossible, okay? Or in the event that it does happen, it's a nightmarish future, okay? That trade-off, so the collapse condition where undermining of that fable with the components of reality are the market's irrational. Like that could take years. That could take tens of years. So this is one condition where I am a major proponent of people stepping up and putting in the effort to actively undermine that system through whatever, but not through whatever means necessary, or at least I wouldn't do it through whatever means necessary. But I'm a major proponent of it's. You have an obligation to society. You have an obligation to your fellow man, your fellow woman. You have an obligation to your nation, even to stop that which is not in your best interests. And we're talking about a system that is actively promoting scams, actively deluding people. People are walking around actively deluding people. Like they're profiting off the ignorance of others. And the fundamentals and the characteristics of the system don't speak to an actual improvement for anyone except for those who are selfish enough to take those means, to use those means. So I'm shocked that some people are so blasé or so passive against the system's the system continuing to do what it does. Like it's actively it's evil. Ethereum is an evil thing. It actively is undermining society. Like, it's not a good thing. It's bad. It's so bad.
Well,
all right, guys. I wanted to re-listen to it. That was a good way of understanding why Ethereum is so bad. And I can't believe this is 6 months old now. I mean, I've been covering Ethereum and what nonsense Ethereum is as far back as I can remember. I have videos going back talking about the stupidity of people believing in Ethereum going back 2 years. Nothing has changed. A few more people have recognized it, and a few more not so bright people have bought into it. You know, like that's my view on Ethereum. Like Ethereum will not be with us, so I'll still be here, just like 80% of all other YouTube traders have disappeared. You know, they used to do videos and people used to tell me how great they are, and some of them haven't done videos in 3 to 5 months. Where are they? They're gone. And Ethereum will be gone too. People keep asking about ADA, Cardano. It's another Ethereum. It doesn't matter. Like none of this shit makes sense. None of this shit works. It's not going to work. No one is going to use it unless they centralize. If they centralize, they will use it. EOS is significantly more centralized. 21 people control every transaction on EOS. It's very, very simple. It is very, very centralized. It is a much better platform for your ICO scam because you can just get into that meeting of the 21 people and they can fix your problem. Like it's just a centralized database. And they gave you this stupid token that has no purpose, no function whatsoever. And Amazon will give you a better database. I think Amazon already started doing a better database. None of this shit needs a native currency. Look, even if Cardano can give you a centralized database that is better than the current centralized database, it doesn't need a native currency. It's a giant scam to get you to buy into a non-licensed, unregistered security so that a few people can get rich. That's all of these things are. The only tokens that, and it's hard even to say that, right? Like obviously Bitcoin didn't create a token for 1 or 2 people to get rich. It's debatable whether Monero or Litecoin did, but it's not debatable whether if Ravencoin did. Of course, Ravencoin created a coin for a few people to get rich. And that's because it came so later in the life cycle, right? Like by the time something like Ravencoin came about, and you can say, well, it was a fair launch of a proof of work coin. Yes, but it wasn't in 2011. It wasn't in 2010. It was in 2017. And in 2017, the only purpose to buy that token is to get rich. That's the difference, right? So the only tokens that have a chance of getting away with not being for-profit entities are Monero and Litecoin. You can't invent another honestly created proof of work at this point because the genie is out of the bottle. Like, oh man, like this is how this stuff works. Somebody wanted me to look at platinum and palladium. I just don't see how they're going to be any different than Bitcoin. Sorry, than gold. I should have a platinum chart. Yeah, so platinum is not looking good. This is the weekly chart of platinum. Wow. Well, I hope you had the sequential system because guess what? You could have beautifully gotten out on this weekly 9. I'm curious if the daily also gave it to you. Like all those people that say technical analysis doesn't work. How do you explain this? Like I haven't looked at a platinum chart in forever, right? When did I look at it last? Last time I looked at the platinum chart was on July 12th. Thank you, TradingView blockchain, for keeping timestamps. So yeah, and we're now on a 5 of 9 to the downside, and we got roll my mouse. And we got supported by the setup trend line, also bottomed on a sequential 13 and the setup 9. The 9 gave you the intra-week low. The 13 gave you the closing low, the bullish candle. The closing low came in the candle before. I can go to the daily chart. I want to see if there was a 9 on a daily the week of November 5th to give you an even better exit/short trade. And unfortunately, there was not. There was a 9 over here, gave you a nice short-term top. Would have been nice to get a 9 up here. How close did we come? We got up to a 7. Oh, man, it was this candle right here. Oh, that would have been beautiful. Oh, man, I hate it when this happens. So here's how this works, right? So this is the future. On a different contract, this could have worked, right? So check this out. The closing price on the 23rd of October, the closing price was $835.80. The closing price on this candle was $835.10. And this was 80 cents, right? So the difference between this candle being a 7 and this candle being a 9 is literally 70 cents, okay? If you are a trader of the sequential system and you are watching, basically you have to understand that this is a momentum indicator. And to me, the 9 days of momentum was pretty much out because the only thing that separated this from being a 9 is 70 cents on October 29th, which is like a week earlier. That was the main difference. If I jump to maybe a specific contract, this could have been different and this could have been a 9, but I'm not going to do all that work. So I'm not sure if I have palladium. Yeah, I'm going to end it here. I'm hungry. I haven't eaten yet. Palladium. How do you spell palladium? I don't know how to spell palladium. I don't think I have a chart of it anyway. All right, let me turn this into a palladium chart. Oh, 2 L's in palladium. Thank you. Make a copy. Palladium. All right, there's palladium, but I want the futures contract. I want the perpetual. Oh, Palladium's been going up. That's the daily Palladium. Let's take a look at the weekly. Oh, yeah, look at that. Look at that. You got a 9 at the high with the reversal candle. I would be careful. You know, it's no, look at this 9 at the low with the reversal candle. Wow, I've never even looked at Palladium on a weekly. Love the sequential, but you are in the countdown phase here, so be careful. Why isn't my countdown phase counting? There we go. You are in a countdown phase from this 9. So this is probably just a short-term correction. It is a reversal candle, not like this one was. I mean, that's a beautiful buying opportunity into Palladium off of this reversal candle. That was a pretty good correction from 1120 all the way down to 820. I mean, that's a good 30%, 25% correction. And I'm still bullish Palladium here, but I would be cautious. I would wait a little bit. I would wait maybe till the following week. I would wait till the following year. All right, guys, I wanted to make this a short video. Got off on a little tangent about Ethereum. Thank you so much for sticking with me, closing out with 1,300 viewers. Once again, please check out the Unconfiscatable conference in Las Vegas. We still have 7 seats open for the poker game and 2 seats open for carnivory dinner. I am replacing speakers. We got a couple of we might have a couple of surprises for you guys, and 35 tickets left at 0.15 Bitcoin. All right. Hopefully I'll see a lot of you there, and see you all on the next one. Bye, guys.